For the second time this year, the government has introduced new rules to how people borrow money. And for the second time this year, a lot of people are confused by exactly what that means. Hey there, my name is Mark Savell. I'm a realtor with Sage Real Estate and a blogger over at TorontoLivings.com. So everybody's talking about the new B-20 guidelines and what that's going to mean to the mortgage industry. Well, I've been doing a lot of research, talking to a lot of different people, and trying to make sense of exactly what this means. Now, you fall into one of two categories. You're either putting less than 20% down or more than 20% down. And if you are putting less than 20% down, these changes will not affect you because you are already going through a mortgage stress test. These are changes they've already implemented and it's business as usual for you. So who is affected? Well, if you're putting more than 20% down, you now also have to go through a stress test. These new guidelines will require you to qualify at either the Bank of Canada rate or your contract rate plus 2%. So let's add some numbers and an example to it. So let's say your contract rate, that's the amount you're actually going to be paying, is 3%. Well, you have to tack on another 2% for qualification purposes. So you're actually qualifying at 5% instead of the 3%. That means you will have less of an overall budget. On average, it's looking like somewhere between a 15 to 20% drop in the overall amount you'll be qualified for. So these changes are going to take effect January 1st, 2018. And a lot of people are kind of worried, saying, should we buy before then? Is that a strategy to kind of avoid these changes? No, a lot of lenders are already using those guidelines when they're doing the qualification process. So what do? First step, talk to a bank or a broker. Make sure you are crystal clear on how much you can afford. So another interesting part of these guidelines is that they only affect federally regulated financial institutions. And in Canada, there's 85 of them. It's not just your big banks like the TDs and the CIBCs. It's also secondary lenders that are affected by these changes. But there is a segment of the market that does not have to follow these guidelines. And it's not some shady uncle or some loan shark who can promise you, any type of money you want at some ridiculous rate. No, it's actually credit unions. So companies like Meridian or Duca, they don't fall under these regulations. And there is some talk and some chat that they may be getting a lot of the business. So how will these changes affect the market? Like most major changes, it's probably not going to be as bad as people are thinking. I was around when Toronto introduced the second land transfer tax, and there was massive panic. Every realtor out there was like, this is the end of the world, the market's going to crash, this is terrible. And after a small period of about 6 to 8 months, it was business as usual. So even though a lot of purchasers' budgets may be reduced by 15 to 20%, it's important to remember that not everybody wants to max out that budget. A lot of people are already using somewhere between 60, 70, or 80% of what that max budget is. And in those cases, these changes will have no impact at all. So if you're a buyer, what do? Well, again, it's super crucial that you talk to your lender, your bank, your broker, and you get them to qualify you under these new guidelines so there's no surprises when it comes time to shopping. And if you're a seller and you get a conditional offer based on financing, let the purchasers go through the process. If it takes a little bit of an extension on the conditional time period, give it to them. Especially with all these changes taking place, it's better to be sure that they can get the financing before they remove the condition. Nobody wants a disaster closing day. So I hope this helps clarify what some of these changes will mean and how they'll impact the market. If you have any further questions, leave a comment below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks for watching.